Hello, I'm SonicBoomSensei, and this is my SGDQ 2017 submission for Mario Super Sluggers Any Percent. This is the Any Percent category in which we do complete the game as fast as possible, where we collect 9 characters in the fastest route we can, challenge Bowser Jr. and Bowser to games of baseball, and then continue on and beat that story mode by beating Bowser. Should be noted that this game is being played on the Wii U Virtual Console version of Mario Super Sluggers because it does have significantly faster loading times than that of the disc counterpart. It approximately saves around 1.5 to 2 minutes. We haven't done extensive testing on it, but as of now, what's visibly aware is that's how much it saves. Now, in order to collect these 9 characters, we do have to have an optimized route of character collection. And this starts in Mario Stadium with getting Luigi. Luigi is the first character you get. You don't have to do any sort of mission in order to unlock him. However, for the rest of these characters, we will have to do some sort of mission, whether it be catching fly balls, hitting proper swings, whatever it may be, other baseball-related tasks. This is how we do unlock all the characters in Mario Super Sluggers. And we do this in the fastest way possible. In collaboration with myself and Icarus Panda, another runner of this game, we did come up with the fastest route possible for getting the characters. One thing that he did suggest is going over to a different area, which we're going to show off later, but for now we're going to get into our first skill mission in order to unlock Blue Noki, who I refer to as SBS Speedy Guy as an Pranker Phase Z emote in my channel, but that's besides the point. Inside jokes aside, we're going to be using different swings here. This showcases different aspects of the game here. What we want to do here is make sure that we hit the ball down the line or close to foul as possible, because if it does end up going foul, you are able to skip this cutscene here that actually leads into the next swing. Star swings are the worst because they do take the most amount of time. I actually did miss one in my PB. This actually might save time depending on what other swings you do get, but the star swing in general does waste the most time, which is why we do hope for bunts and charge swings because they go out of bounds and foul as frequently as we can get them to. Now, finishing up this mission does unlock the next character in Blue Noki, which allows us to then go and unlock Green Noki and Red Noki respectively. The character collection optimization is the most important part besides the Bowser games that we do have to do in this speedrun, which is why it's so important to get these characters in this order. So in this sense, Lakitu is going to tell us to go over and get Green Noki. A lot of these missions you'll notice are very short. They don't take a lot of time, which is one of the beneficial parts of this speedrun. More of the complicated skill missions are involved in the other categories of this game, one being the 100% category and the other being a modified any percent where we get all of the captains. But generally in this category, there aren't missions that take a long amount of time, which is very important for speedruns. We pick a lot of the missions that require you to do the least amount of work. These just happen to line up very nicely. Throwing those charge pitches is the way you unlock Green Noki here, and that's how we're going to unlock the next character and then move on to Red Noki here. In our old route of the game, back when I used to originally run this game, we ended up staying here and collecting a few more characters. However, as I was saying, Icarus Panda before discovered that you could go over to the next stadium, or dome I guess you could call it, and get the 2 Shy Guys that are over there. You unlock 2 characters at once by playing this slightly longer minigame, but it does in the end save a lot of time. So we're going to be exiting this area at almost 3 minutes and 35 seconds, which is very fast. We almost have all the characters right now. We only need to unlock 4 more. So we're going to go into Yoshi Park to unlock the Shy Guys, as I was talking about before. We do get them in this order because it's obviously the fastest way to go, but going to 3 different stadiums, you would think it wouldn't be as fast, but in fact it is. It is to be noted, we do spend more time here in all captains. There are some strategies here that we do use to go faster by using only the Wii mote instead of Wiimote and Nunchuck. But here we're going to do the Piranha merry-go-round minigame where you shoot baseballs at the piranha plants using the Wii mote. This game does utilize motion controls, although not as heavily as most games on the Wii do. I believe that's one of the best qualities about this game is it uses motion controls right. Here you use the pointer. This is a cycle-based minigame, which is why it's important to get as many piranha plants in your first go as possible. This is one of the instances of RNG in this game. in addition to just baseball player RNG in general, as with any sports game or any Mario game where enemies are involved. But here you're able to clear off the merry-go-round, and we unlock these two characters both at once, which is very beneficial. You only have to do one mission just to unlock these two characters, which is amazing. This is why it saves so much time, is because you only have to do one thing, and you unlock a lot more characters than you'd be able to in Mario Stadium. So, we're going to be moving out of Yoshi Park and into Peach Ice Garden, where we'll be unlocking the next two characters and the final two characters. When we did this, we originally collected 7 characters in Mario Stadium, so we needed one more to get as we were dropping one off that we didn't get in Peach Ice Garden. So we needed to get Green Toad, which is going to be coming up. We needed that extra character, and you only have to do one action for his mission, so that's why it's a lot faster. Here we're going to rearrange this puzzle. There's an optimized route for this that I came up with myself. It wasn't previously developed, and it really just does involve moving these pieces into place as fast as possible, creating that familiar mushroom that we all know so well. Going on forward, we do get Toadette from this mission. It clears the path so that we are able to get to Green Toad. It should be noted that there is another character you can unlock here, but it does require that you do a different mission, which is much slower. So going forward, we're going to do Green Toad's mission in order to unlock the final character so that we can go to the meatier part of the speedrun. Although it is as important as the rest of this, it does take a significantly longer amount of time to beat the Bowser games. That's why they're the meat of this speedrun rather than the character collection. Each and every part is important, which is why I do love this speed game so much. Here we're just going to hit the ball to center field. Timing it correctly is all you need to do here. It's not RNG at all. It's this execution here is what makes the game go a lot faster. If you were able to place balls well and get it away from the enemy, or just get it in the right place in the first place, it makes this game a lot faster than most people would be able to do it in, which is why it can be very much optimized depending on the player. And since I've been playing this game for a long time, I am in the position to do so. So we're going to, because of this, we're going to unlock the Bowser Jr. Stadium, where we're able to take on Bowser Jr. in this sort of match. The story mode in this game is really interesting. It has a lot more backstory placed into it. It's the whole Bowser wants to take over Baseball Island, I think, is what it's called, which is pretty generic, but it's an interesting story as is. There's a lot of after-story elements that are pretty cool. But nevertheless, we're going to start this Bowser Jr. game. This is an actual baseball game. This is the first of 2 instances of an actual baseball game that we're going to be playing here. Now, our strategy here, rather than go for Mercy, which we do in the next Bowser game, we try and go for one run and then get out as fast as possible in order to minimize the amount of time we're on the field. Now, by doing this, I hit a long ball, use the items that are given to me in order to hit an inside the park home run here. That won't always happen. You just want to hit a deep ball. Home runs are the most beneficial thing you can get. But if you get a double, you can always bat in with a single with the next person, and then you can get them out immediately in order to basically even out the time you would get. Bunting is the most efficient way to get all your characters out, because when you hit it on the sweet spot right here in the center, what it does is it sends it right over to the side, and the AI usually just walks over and gets it right there. So it doesn't usually pose an issue. In terms of pitching strategy here, all we do is we just throw a quick pitch. Throwing out charge pitches isn't as beneficial because it does take more time to do so, and it doesn't make the computers miss any more than if you threw a normal pitch. I've been playing this game for a very long time, and you think you would notice a difference, but truly there is not. The AI in this game isn't as smart as you would think it would be. So it's easily manipulatable. You're going to see me, in between each of the at-bats, you're going to see me pause and unpause very quickly. This is one of the many technical things that we do in this game. I call it pause canceling. What it does is it skips the opening animation of the character walking into the batter's box. It saves around half a second each time, And since you have to do this many, many times over the course of the run, it saves around 10 seconds in total, just in any percent. But if you were to do it in another category, it saves a significant amount of time. As you can see here, I'm just throwing the quick pitches in order to get it away from the opposing players. If they do end up getting a hit, it's not a big deal because a lot of the characters either fly out or ground out, so it's easy to get a double play or to just get the characters out in the fastest means possible. I do apologize for whatever that is. Powerful. Apologize for cutting over that real quick. So I only missed one bunt out. That's my bad. I'm capturing my monitor right now. So that's one of the issues I had in getting this video to work. Anyways, it's just more bunting, more pause canceling, things just to get Mario and his team out as fast as possible. Any of these pitches in, you'll see that I will throw it in the same spot 3 times in a row and the AI won't react. This can be good and bad depending on whether you accidentally throw balls instead of strikes. The AI is very easy to manipulate. If you do throw, if they swing and miss at one, if you throw it to the other side or curve it, they will miss most of the time. And that is the end of the Bowser Jr. minigame. As I showed before, you only do need 1 run, and that's all you need in order to get the Bowser Jr. game done as fast as possible. Ideally, you put the heavy hitter at the front, which in this case is Mario. It used to be Pianta when we got him in the old route, but now it's Mario, so that's who we use to get the home runs. The text in this game is a joy to read. I would love to just showcase it because there's plenty of ridiculous things that the characters say that they don't say in any other Mario game. So since Bowser Jr. got defeated, Bowser's mad, so he's going to come up, but we're going to actually have to play him in a longer match in which it's 5 innings usually instead of 3. So if you tried to employ the same strategy, it would take significantly longer than what it would take for Bowser Jr. And Bowser does have much better AI normally. So I do use this precise lineup in order to line up the chemistries as good as possible. I haven't really explained that yet, but what chemistry does mainly is it makes it so that you can use items with the character that's in front of them. So we want to make sure you have items for as long as possible. Now what we're going to do here is something that is very, very hard to execute, but after lots of practice, it becomes a lot easier. What we're going to do is we're going to get 10 runs in 1 inning in order to maximize the amount of runs that we get so that we can get through this faster. What we do is I often alternate between a mix of charge swings if I have an item and normal swings without charging if I don't have an item in order to make sure that all the characters do get on base. It's very important to mix and match these because if you do charge swings with some characters, it's not as efficient because they don't go as far, and sometimes they'll go straight to the outfielders and you'll get an out, which is not what you want because the fielding can be kind of wonky in this stage. There's King Bob-omb over there that can actually deflect your balls and deflect your items, so it's very important to stay on top of your game here. Sometimes there's some flubs from the enemy, as you just saw there. They can drop the ball and fling it backwards. There I actually got into a double play, which I thought was bad, but if you actually get into a strategic double play there, you get 2 outs so you don't have to later. Not optimal in the sense that I would have liked to get 10 runs as fast as possible, but having those 2 outs does help out a lot because you don't have to get them in the future. In addition to placing balls, it's important to place your items properly, as I was shown before. You want to hit your balls down the line. Honestly, you just want to place them anywhere where the enemy can't get them so that you can get around the bases as fast as possible. You are able to manually manipulate how you run around the bases with the nunchuck, which is why I use it when you're batting. Now the thing is with this is that the Mercy is hard normally, and after practice it still is it's consistent, but with RNG in this game sometimes it's hard to get it all the time. And what you can do is actually, if you do 3 outs, you can employ the same strategy as you do in the Bowser Jr. game until you get to the 2nd inning, where then you'll be able to fish for as many runs as you possibly can. Missing an inning and having to take 2 innings to get 10 runs doesn't take up as much time as doing non-Mercy in Bowser Jr. So approximately it would take around 2 minutes more, which is why I've set the estimate at around 6 minutes higher, just to allow some leeway from the world record and from a run in order to make sure that we'd have enough time in case of extreme measures, like in this case here, if we were to get, if it were to take 2 more innings to get it. You also use the star swings, which is when you hold A, B together. I talked about it at the beginning of the run, but you can use them to use some very special swings with the captains and a generic star swing where it just goes faster with the other characters. And here I use that because it actually does send the enemies farther back so that they'll have to throw from a farther distance. And here, after I get the 10 runs, I just run straight in, get out, just so I can get straight to the fielding here. And the fielding is the same strategy that's employed in the Bowser Jr. minigame. Just want to throw here. The Bowser AI can actually be a bit more tricky because Bowser Jr. and Bowser have their special swings, as I was talking about before. And what they can actually do is use them. And Bowser Jr.'s is almost always an automatic double, so it's very hard. But as you see here, we're able to strike him out, and that is the end of the speed run. I would have paused it there, but that is the end right there. It's the end of the run. I actually have up different splits right now, so I was unable to completely pause the timer, so I do apologize for that. But regardless, that is my submission for Mario Super Sluggers, any percent, for the Nintendo Wii. And I do think that this would make a good speed game for SGDQ because it opens the door for a very hype ending to a good run. It has a lot of tech that has been explored and deserves to be exhibited on a main stage. It's been done in marathons before, and it's been done very consistently. I actually did this in a few previous marathons, one even where I didn't get the Mercy but still did it in under 20 minutes, which is very impressive. I believe that this run deserves to be showcased, and I think that for these reasons that it should be able to get into SGDQ. If not, then I will be perfectly content with showing off my run to my Twitch viewers. However, I do appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you very much, and I hope you do take Mario Baseball in consideration for this year's SGDQ. With that, I am out. Thank you for watching. This is SonicBoomSensei, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.